Hello, my name is Tim Farrell. I teach at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado, and I'm thrilled today to discuss my concepts with you about the trumpet. Trumpet is an extraordinary instrument. In fact, I remember the first day I began playing, and I'm thrilled that you'll have the same excitement and enjoyment that I had when I first began playing. Now, this is my favorite part of the day, the opportunity to take my trumpet out of the case and play. Make sure when you open your case, it is right side up and that the trumpet or cornet is not going to fall onto the floor, or the mouthpieces or the mute come rolling out and cause a large disturbance before band. Cases are designed differently. This case is designed for the trumpet to be up and down, possibly to fit 2 or 3 instruments into the case. Your case may be designed where the cornet or trumpet lays on its side. Just a little difference in design. They're all both wonderful. When taking the trumpet out of your case, make sure you don't hit a stand or a chair. Just make sure there's plenty of room on both sides so that you don't get any dings in the bell or cause any damage to any other parts of the instrument. The trumpet is fairly simple to put together. There's the trumpet and the mouthpiece. You simply put the mouthpiece into the trumpet and give it a slight twist. You don't need to cause a lot of force. You don't need to slam onto the mouthpiece or push it in any other way besides a slight twist. You don't want it to fall out, but you also don't want it to get stuck. In which case, if it does get stuck, your band director should have a mouthpiece puller that will take it out pretty easily, but it does require some time in doing so. The trumpet is a fairly simple instrument. It consists of really 3 main sections: the bell, the valve cluster, and then the tuning slide and lead pipe. The lead pipe is this section right here. Obviously, it's the lead tube or lead pipe on the trumpet, which is connected to the tuning slide or the main tuning slide. This is where you will generally tune the entire instrument. The tuning slide is designed, and the trumpet, I should say, is designed so the slide is out between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. Therefore, if you're flat or sharp, there's room to adjust either way. There are also 3 slides, I should say, 2 that are used very frequently for intonation. That is the first and the third slide. And they're called that, obviously, because the first slide is connected with the first valve, and the third slide is connected with the third valve. And those slides are to be used when you're playing to adjust subtle intonation changes on certain notes. The second slide is very seldom used except when cleaning the instrument. And then the largest section of the instrument, or the fattest tubing, is the bell section, which is starting at the first valve through the bell. Posture is one of the most important elements in all wind playing, not just brass playing, for you need to be relaxed and standing up so that you can produce a nice relaxed sound. Your feet need to be placed at about shoulders width, and you need to be standing nice and tall and straight, and there's no bowing of the back or no hunching or sticking out of the stomach area. Roll your shoulders slightly back so that the weight of your shoulders and your chest are on your spine. Make sure your head is not forward, but your head is also relaxing on your spine. That way the airflow will be nice and even as you play. Students tell me once in a while that they have an easier time standing while practicing than sitting. And the main reason that they tell me this is they actually have bad posture while they're sitting. So let's see if we can reproduce the upper body position while sitting as well. So again, the key elements: your feet are on the floor, shoulder width apart, your knees are slightly bent, and the upper body is in alignment. That your back, shoulders, and your head are resting on your spine, nice and relaxed. Now move that position onto the chair, keeping the upper body exactly the same, and you should have a more consistent approach while practicing or playing in your ensemble. You notice my upper body did not change position from standing to sitting. Again, that keeps everything nice and relaxed in this area so that we can produce a nice, even tone while performing. Also, you'll notice there's a space between my back and the back of the chair because you want to keep it straight up and down. If you conform your back to the shape of the chair, there's going to be a bow usually in your back, which will hinder the ability to breathe properly or stay relaxed. So practice that a couple of times, keeping your posture nice and even, breathing nice and relaxed, keeping your head back. Don't let your head fall and that pressure on your chest. Keep your shoulder and your head back, and then sit straight back onto the chair in that same position. This will allow you to play most consistent and sound best between standing and sitting. Great. Now that we're sitting in proper playing posture, let's talk about breathing. Your upper body should be nice and relaxed, and as you inhale and exhale, your stomach region should expand and contract. A great way to get the same feeling of that stomach expanding and contracting is to put your elbows on your knees and take a deep breath. You should feel the pressure of your stomach on your belt region, which is the same as when you're sitting up. You should get that same feeling when you're breathing. Again, upper body is relaxed, shoulders are rolled back slightly, and the weight of your head and your shoulders should be on your spine. Try taking a few deep breaths without playing to begin with. And also paying close attention that you're not stopping the air between the inhale and the exhale. One motion, in and out. Most beginning students stop, which causes undue tension or stress in your neck and in your tongue area, which will change the sound production. So by having one motion in and out, you'll produce the best tone quality possible. Again, you should feel some stretching of the stomach region, inhale and exhale as you play. Upper body, nice and relaxed, shoulders and head weighted nice and evenly on the spine in a straight manner. Now let's talk about our hand position. I often tell my students it's just as easy to have a good habit as a bad habit. So why not start with a good habit and have great hand position for your entire life? Let's start with our left hand. The left hand is used to balance the trumpet as well as adjusting the first and third valve slides or tuning slides on the instrument. If you're 10 or 12 years old, let's say, your hand may be a little smaller than mine, in which case your pinky will probably fit into the third slide ring. If your hands are a little bigger, your ring finger will fit very easily into that. The main thing you want to think about is that when you're playing, you're able to move the third slide and adjust for some of the intonation characteristics on the instrument. The thumb of your left hand should fit into a saddle or a ring in the case on this trumpet, so that you're able to do the same by be able to adjust the intonational characteristics of the instrument. So you should be able to balance the entire instrument with your left hand alone. The right hand's purpose when playing the trumpet is to operate the valves. I like to tell my students to think about holding a sandwich in this position so that when you move that to the trumpet, the thumb fits between the first and the second valve casing, and the fingers fit nice and relaxed, curved right on top of the first, second, and third valve. The pinky should move freely, so don't tie it down in this holder. That's simply when you're holding the instrument. That's a device so that you don't drop your trumpet. When you're playing, the pinky should move nice and relaxed and evenly with your third finger. One more thing to consider while you're playing is the position of your arms. Make sure they're not tucked in against your side this way, or they're too high. You want to be nice and relaxed, your arms at about a 45-degree angle to cause the least amount of tension possible while holding up the instrument in a good posture. Now we're going to talk about the embouchure and making our first sounds on the mouthpiece alone. The word embouchure is one not to be afraid of. It simply means the facial muscles that are required when playing a brass instrument. Our embouchure consists of our lips and what we call the corners, which tend to be firm to hold our lips in place. Making our first sounds, there's a couple of things you must remember before you get started. One, you want to take a nice relaxed breath, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then also, please don't puff your cheeks. This is a bad habit that a lot of students get into. Your cheeks should remain nice and flat with your corners doing most of the work of holding your lips firm. You want to stay nice and relaxed. And when you place the mouthpiece on your lips, it should be 50-50 between the upper and lower lip. When doing this, you can use a mirror to judge that that mouthpiece is being centered right in the center and that it's about 50-50 on your lips. It should be nice and relaxed. Put the mouthpiece up, and you just want to take a nice relaxed breath, and sometimes even without tonguing, it's easier to produce your first sounds. Your lips will vibrate, which will then create a sound on the mouthpiece. For many students, this will happen very easily the first time. For others, it just may take the repetition of doing it several times. The main reason being that your lips are stiff and it just takes a while to get them to relax, to want to be supple and vibrate as the wind goes over the top of them. Again, it should be 50-50. I play slightly off to the right, but you want to keep it nice and centered and just blow a nice relaxed airstream. Again, I'm not tonguing right now, just blowing air to get them to vibrate. Also, the pitch will be determined by the airspeed and other factors. If it's not the same pitch that I'm producing, it's of no concern. The most important thing right now is that you're producing some type of sound with the vibration of your lips.